Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series, and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Welcome in here, race fans, tonight for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Modified Series, presented by Red Light Racing, right here to the Stafford Motor Speedway, located in Stafford Springs, Connecticut. This old horse track turned dirt track for NASCAR, now one of the most historic short tracks in all of America here on the iRacing.com platform. We will go racing tonight for 100 laps. This, of course, is round number 5 for these modifieds. We've been to Worldwide Technology Raceway, where Justin Rigsby, the rookie, was able to go to victory lane. We were at the Thompson Speedway, another historic track here in the Northeast. Brian Bianchi picked up his first career win. And then it was Five Flags in Myrtle Beach, where Michael Trevarthen went to victory lane. Who will win here tonight at Stafford Motor Speedway? Well, I'm ready to bring you all the racing action. My name is Roger Muth, here with the Turn 3 Racing Network, ready to bring you all 100 laps of side-by-side short track racing action. 18 drivers have made their way here tonight to do battle with these modifieds. We will see who will etch their names. One of the drivers that has been the talk of the town all week, well, that's number 1 of Dalton Williams, and he's got himself a very good starting spot here tonight. Let's head down trackside, though, and get that starting lineup brought to us by our friends over at Six Rings Racing. This is how your starting lineup will look. Starting on the front row, driving the number 2. That is Michael Trevarthen. He's a 2-time winner on the tour. He's the points championship leader coming in. Starting to his outside, driving car number 1. That's Dalton Williamson. He's been the talk. He's the driver with the hot shoe here at this speedway in the SK Modifieds. And starting back into the third spot, driving car number 78 here tonight. That's Alfred Sharon Jr. in the Sharon Racing entry. A.J. Hamill. It's been a rough start for the driver of car number 18, but the Arts Barbershop number 18 is here tonight. A.J. will roll off from 4th. And back into the 5th spot, out of Virginia, driving car number 6. Eric Stout in the Six Rings Racing number 6 will go 5th here tonight. Well, how about Rob Higgins in car number 40? He'll start 6th here tonight in that Checkered Flag Auto Supply number 40. Back there in 7th, driving the number 14 MA, the Goldpeppers Bakery and Cafe number 14 MA. That's Brian Bianchi. He'll roll off from 7th. Back into the 8th spot then. Well, I'm not sure if this is Autumn or Sean driving car number 11 here tonight with a qualifying attempt up into the 8th spot. I'm going to guess this is Autumn, Sean's girlfriend, driving the car here tonight, but we're listed as Sean Single, driving car 11, starting in 8th. Back into the 9th spot, the Bragg Motorsports number 31 of Dave Bragg will go from 9th. Philly Edwards driving car number 73. He'll roll off from the 10th spot. And how about the Racing School number 8 of Dan Butler? He'll go 11th here tonight. Mark Jenkins out of Virginia driving car number 99 will go there into the 12th starting spot here tonight. 13th driver out of South Carolina, the 271 of Aiden L. Guillon. He will roll from P number 13. And then it's the Racing School, number 33 of Mike Taschereau. He will roll from 14th. Well, it's the Beefy Motorsports entry. The Liquid Molly entry. That's car number 38 of Brandon Feeney. Rolling off from the 16th starting spot here tonight. Driving car number 3. The Attitude Esports entry, number 3 of Justin Rigsby, will go 16th on the starting lineup here tonight. 17th will go to the Granny Hips Walkers and Canes Checkered Flag Auto Supply entry. This will be Joshua Buckley. Starting in 18th, the number 30 of Bob Higgins will roll off from the 18th starting position here tonight. That is your 18-car field here. Our Six Rings Racing starting lineup tonight for these modifieds. They're out there. You hear the beasts. All 18 drivers do make the call here to the starting lineup, so we will go racing next time by 100 laps here tonight for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Modified Series, presented by Red Light Racing. Right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, we will bring you wheel-to-wheel racing action. The BK Paints, though, entries. The Ref Esports drivers, car 1 and car 2 on the front row, followed by AJ Hamill and the 78 of Alfred Sharon Jr. That's how they're lined up currently here. We're ready to go. Who will take home the big prize here tonight? We're all going to find out together. There's the green flag, race fans. This time by, we drop the hammer. Racing at the historic Speedway here in Connecticut. One car way high down in turns number 1. That's the number 11 of Sean Single. AJ Hamill snaking down the back straightaway. Also in car number 18. He tried to get to the bottom side. Dalton Williamson stuck to the outside. Lap number 1 will go in the books here tonight. It'll be car number 2 leading the first lap of the evening. Michael Trevarthen back across the line first. Alfred Sharon Jr. now one car to the outside there. That's the Checkered Flag Auto Supply number 40. That is Rob Higgins down to the inside. It's the Colony Tire and Service Center, Cole Pepper's Bakery and Cafe, number 14 MA. That's Brian Bianchi down on the bottom side. He'll take the spot away from Rob Higgins and bump Higgins back one spot from where he started here tonight. Everybody starting to really jockey for position. Here comes Eric Stout. Oh, Higgins! Way snapped loose out of turn number 2. He's going to lose a handful of spots. There goes Bianchi. There goes Single. There goes Dave Bragg. And now the battle was Eric Stout. Inside the top 5, he's trying to get around the Arts Barber Shop, empty the tanks, Orca Coolers entry. That's AJ Hamill. There you see AJ right now having his best starting spot of the season. And a little contact there, a little bars being rubbed, a little more bars being rubbed. Short track racing on Thursdays. Bianchi's going to capitalize on this one. He's going to take the spot also. So move Brian Bianchi past car number 18 of AJ Hamill. That'll put AJ back to the 6th spot. Losing 2 spots here in the first 5 laps of the opening laps here. 5 laps into the books. Still everybody chasing this driver out front. Michael Trevarthen, the 2-time winner on the tour this season. Got Alfred Sharon Jr. and Dalton Williamson right behind him. Then a little bit of a gap back to that P number 4 spot of Eric Stout. Stout, Bianchi, and Hamill currently sitting there at the next 3 positions. Everybody has gone single file here tonight. Look at them as they all come down the back straightaway. Josh Buckley and Bob Higgins right now tailing the field here as they work down the back straightaway on lap number 8. This time by. And he's actually 7 laps, working lap number 8 of the evening. There's the Racing School, number 33 of Mike Taschereau. He just picked up a spot as they work down the back straightaway. Everybody back into line. We're going to see a lot of this. We'll call it the single file, the down around the bottom, the zipper effect here tonight. Everybody kind of on a conveyor belt here in the early stages of this one. Nobody wants to go and use the tires this early. Next time by, it's only going to be 10% into this race. And now the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen is starting to really open up the gap as they work off turn number 2 down the back straight away. Sharon's being pressured, though. That is car number 1 of Dalton Williamson right there. Williamson started in the 2nd spot here tonight on the outside of the front row. did lose that spot. The outside was just not the place to be on the opening lap here tonight. So Dalton kind of riding currently right behind the 78 of Alfred Sharon Jr. Eric Stoutle's been turning in some very good laps here after he got into P 4, and he's actually run back down the top 3 drivers. Also, Brian Bianchi's actually running some faster lap times. But what you gotta wonder, we talked about tires. Tires with these modifieds is something you really have to be mindful of. They're very wide, yes, but these cars have a lot of horsepower. They like to put it to the ground. You use up these big Hoosier Racing tires, and all of a sudden, there's no grip on these cars. Here comes Dalton Williamson, was taking a peek down to the inside that time out of turn number 2. Didn't quite get the pass made into turn number 3, so he just funnels back into line. Currently running still into that 3rd position. Pass back here, Aiden Alvecchione, the driver out of South Carolina. Driver out of Charleston. Gets passed up by car number 73. That's Philly Edwards as they were down the front straightaway. So Philly Edwards going to pick back 1 spot from where he was. He was down 3 spots. Aiden almost into the back Nerf bars. Now Aiden checks up. That's going to get Mark Jenkins to have to check up. But Jenkins down to the bottom side as Philly Edwards off the speedway down the front straightaway. The 73 of Philly Edwards going to gather it all up, but he's going to lose 1, 2, possibly 3 spots. Here comes Justin Rigsby. Rigsby working the outside, car number 3 there, that white, and we'll call it the shiny reflective red color on the car there. Those red bars, absolutely stunning. Don't want to scratch them. I'm sure they're not cheap to replace, as it looks like Philly Edwards going to hold the bottom side of the speedway here. Aiden Alvecchione did lose a spot in the exchange that he gained 1 and lost 1, so he kind of just washes his hand, comes out even on that one. As now Mark Jenkins had some issues off turn 2. Now here comes Aiden Alvecchione. He was kind of on the prowl there, but went to the outside in turns number 1 and 2 and just did not quite stick. Right on board here with the driver out of Charleston, South Carolina. You're riding on board with Aiden Alvecchione. Currently sitting back into the 13th running position, right behind the 99 of Mark Jenkins. There's Mike Taschereau also in the racing school. 877 Ken Race, number 33 of Mike Taschereau. Does look like Aiden is a little bit quicker. He's able to roll the bottom. You hear him. He's off the throttle. He's just gaining ground on the 99. Taschereau with a big wiggle that time off turn number 4. You saw that car really start to snap on him. Maybe slid the tires just 1 too many times. Oh, Aiden going to really send or shove the nose down in turns number 3 and 4. He's going to wash high. Oh, Aiden Alvecchione into the outside retaining wall off turn number 4. He's hanging on to it. 1 car having some problems back there. I believe that is the 38 of Brandon Feeney. He really locked him up. He's going to lose a little bit of ground. Didn't lose any spots, but will lose some ground. While we watch that battles that were happening around the mid-pack here, Dalton Williamson did get around Alfred Sharon Jr. So it put Sharon Jr. back into P number 3. Dalton Williamson now being scored into the 2nd spot, trying to run back down car number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. A lot of jockeying back here. Mike Taschereau up out of the groove now. He's going to lose a spot to the 99 of Mark Jenkins. This is all the battles that are going on right now just outside the top 10. It's 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th underneath a blanket. Now Taschereau is stuck to the outside lane here. There you see the 33. Just trying to hang on, trying to find a spot where he can get back down to the bottom side. Joshua Buckley's right there, and now it looks like Taschereau is going to be able to work down low. Everybody back to that bottom side. We have not seen the outside lane work here tonight at all. Race leader down the back straight away. He's real nice and smooth, like chicken lips down around the bottom side here. Not really making any mistakes with car number 2 here. Last time at the line, though, there's your fastest car on the speedway. It's the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. He was the fastest car last time by a 1/10 of a second, actually, over Michael Trevarthen. So we'll check the times at the line here once again. Race leader will hit the line, and he's going to run an 1892 to an 1890 that time for Dalton Williamson. And how about the quickest lap that time by was Alfred Sharon Jr. with an 1879, the only driver down into the 18.7 marker. One driver that's down into the grass there, that was the number 14 of Brian Bianchi. He's being pressured by the 18 of A.J. Hamill, and there is Sean Single. Or maybe it's Autumn. Autumn says she's out there. If she crashes, it's Sean's fault. So, race fans, I don't know if it's Sean or if it's Autumn. If it's Autumn still out there, I should say. We get tongue-twisted, tongue-tied out here. Just like, well, Eric Stelz getting tied into this battle here with Brian Bianchi. Bianchi coming in with new colors this season. Rex Hoyle, of course, up on top of the tower as he was sideways. He's up on top of the wheel tonight. So Brian Bianchi in the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe entry, making the move on Eric Stout. So that'll put Stout now on the outside there in the Six Rings Racing number 6. A.J. Hamill trying to just roll the bottom. There's the number 11 of Sean Single. He's trying to tiptoe through the tulips here tonight. He'll make the pass. That'll put Single now into P number 6 with Eric Stout falling back into that 7th spot. There's Dave Bragg. He's been very quiet so far here in the opening laps of this one in that Jiffy Lube number 31. Just trying to turn some laps here. Remember, Rob Higgins had some issues early on here tonight in car number 40. He's been able to correct it and right the ship. He has lost 3 spots since where he started here tonight. He was up inside the top 5 early on and then got sideways off the corner, and he fell back to this 9th position, just trying to really cool the tires off this Checkered Flag Auto Supply number 40 as he works down the back straightaway. There you see him, the Busch Latte entry. Might be drinking a couple Busch Lattes. Rigsby there in car number 3. He won the opening round at the Worldwide Technology Raceway, also known as Gateway, back on April the 7th. Well, kind of shocking the field that a rookie could run as fast as he did. Won that opening round. Since then, he's kind of hovered right there inside the top 3 in the point standings. He is sitting 3rd coming into the evening, right behind Brian Bianchi by 2 points, 9 points behind your points leader, Michael Trevarthen, who is the race leader. But the question is, can he hold that race lead? Because look who's knocking on his back door. Right there, that's Dalton Williamson, a past champion here with the series. See, Dalton really wraps the bottom down in turns 3 and 4. Come by the stripe here. Let's see the run that he gets down in turn 1. Both drivers looking like they're using the same line down in turns number 1 and 2. But 3 and 4 last time, Michael Trevarthen was up the track, and Dalton Williamson was able to really hold the bottom. They're going to put Bob Higgins there in the Checkered Flag Auto Supply number 30 a lap down. So Bob Higgins in car number 30 will be the first driver to go a lap down here tonight. There you see the black and silver number 30 of Higgins. Higgins sitting back into the 18th spot, currently on our scoring tower. Brian Bianchi holding off that 18 for the time being. Bianchi in 4th. Hamill back there running into P number 5. Brian Bianchi, of course, picking up round number 2's win this season. It was the Racing School 100 at the Thompson Motor Speedway, or Motorsports Park. Brian Bianchi able to pick up his first ever career win here with Red Light Racing, and having a really good opening couple rounds to the season, which catches him 2nd in the points championship overall, just 7 points back behind Michael Trevarthen. And you want to talk about what really wins championships, it's the consistency. That number 2 of Michael Trevarthen, when you look at all the incident points that get scored, every race, an incident point, if one does get accumulated, it goes into a tally marker system that's kept here by our scorers. And for the drivers that have run every race so far this season, he has the lowest amount of incident points, 8. 8 times he has made contact with a wall or hit the grass, or maybe another competitor has gotten into him. And that consistency is what will win a championship, just being able to stay out of trouble all season long. Right now, he's been doing a good job, and he's doing a great job right now. He's actually started to open up that gap. Now back to P number 2 of Dalton Williamson as we're about, we'll call it 8 laps away from the halfway point home here tonight at the Stafford Motor Speedway. When you really look back at the history here of Stafford, it doesn't actually read Dalton Williamson in the real record book of wins and historical factors here. But when we look at the one with Red Light Racing, he has 2 wins here at Stafford, the most of all active drivers here on the tour with the Tour Modifieds. Looking for another one here tonight. AJ Hamel still really battling hard back here. AJ still hash on Single, tucked up underneath him. Right on board with Mr. Single down into the corner. You see AJ really hanging out, leaning on the right rear. So did the number 14 of Bianchi out in front of him. Sean's really going to lean on that right rear tire out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway they go. See everybody just trying to slide these cars around here tonight. You want to be smooth. We talked about the tires. They're big, they're wide, they're very sticky until you slide them too many times. AJ Hamel sliding them down into turns 1 and 2. Really letting that rear end dance out there. Wiggle, wiggle. Dan Butler being very silent here tonight in the racing school number 8, the driver out of Massachusetts. There you see him in the white and orange entry. Picking up 1 spot now, finding himself inside the top 10 here tonight. Couple laps, he's been actually faster than the Rob Higgins entry that's just out in front of him. So Butler starting to close the gap. Of course, Eric Stout, Dave Bragg right there also. So there's a couple cars out in front of him here with half the race left that he can go up there and possibly snatch away a good finishing position here tonight. Still a lot of racing left to go. Anything is very possible here tonight. Brandon Feeney, though, is the driver, and actually now Aiden Alvecchione just went a lap down. I was going to say Brandon Feeney went a lap down. Now it's Aiden Alvecchione who just went a lap down, so Aiden is currently sitting in the lucky dog position. He wants to hopefully catch a caution flag real quick here. That will allow him to come right back around and tag the back of the field. But right now, Aiden is being scored a lap down. Something happening to the number 14, Brian Bianchi, down to the inside doing donuts here. And caution light's going to come out. Bianchi having some major issues down there in turns number 2. Bring out the first caution flag of the evening, and that's really going to throw a screwball in here. I believe we're going to see a lot of these drivers come to pit road here. Do expect them to come to pit road, and your leader is going to stay out. Michael Trevarth and Dalton Williamson stay out. Alfred Sharon Jr. coming to pit road. He'll bring down the number 6 of Stout, Higgins, Butler, Jenkins, Rigsby. Welcome to pit road. A lot of drivers electing to stay out here, though, under this caution flag. There's your race leader. He'll stay out. And look at Aiden Alvecchione. We called it. He got that lucky dog. He got exactly what he needed right there. So Aiden will come back around, tag the back of the field. So as everybody comes to pit road, what happened? Well, let's take a look. Oh, AJ Hamel and the 14 get together. Bianchi down into the grass and trying to hammer back into her right there, and he comes back out. Oh, right into traffic. The 99 of Jenkins nowhere to go. Bianchi and Bianchi and Hamel, excuse me, have been doing battle. There you see the contact that sends Bianchi back down into the infield grass. There you see the 30. That was Bob Higgins barely squeak on by. great camera shots here presented by our friends over at Checkered Flag Auto Supply. But the first caution of the evening is on the speedway. So, we talked about drivers that did come to pit road and some drivers that stayed out. Well, it'll be Michael Trevarthen as your race leader. He's going to stay out. Dalton Williamson will stay out. Sean Single will stay out in car number 11. A.J. Hamill stays out. Dave Bragg in the 31. Philly Edwards, Josh Buckley. So your top 7 drivers all stay out here under this caution flag. They don't come down to pit road. They don't put the tires on. Everybody else, though, from the 8th position on back, either came down and got 2 tires or 4 tires and fuel. So they are good to go the rest of the way. Remember, Aiden Alvecchione was our Lucky Dog recipient. He will tag the back of the field here. So, Trevarthen, Williamson, your front 2 drivers here, they will be battling to turn number 1 here as the Mighty Modifieds come back to racing action. Green flag back into the air, and the field continued to be bunched back up here as they work off turn number 2 down the back straightaway. After lap number 1, it's going to be the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. Look at Sean Single driving deep into the corner, almost into the back there of the number 2. Now, new second place, it will be Sean Single. Look at A.J. Hamill. He'll go down to the bottom side, down to 3 and 4. A little bit of a slide job. Dalton Williamson going to have to go high. Caution lights on the speedway, though. Uh-oh, couple drivers towards the back of the field. Oh, no, not the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe, number 14, of Brian Bianchi. Smoke bellowing out of the 505 Motorsports entry. Bianchi's car is up in smoke here tonight, unfortunately. He'll come to pit road. Possibly Dan Butler involved, Aiden Alvecchione possibly involved, Mike Taschereau. We'll have to check and see what all transpired here. Oh, Eric Stout and Bianchi getting together. Dan Butler take... Oh, wow, the 6 of Eric Stout. You want to talk about taking a wild ride. Oh, boy. Right on board here. You're riding on board with Mike Taschereau. Eric Stout sent up hard into the wall. There you see Taschereau coming to a stop as the team car, the number 8, was spun around down to the inside. Riding on board here with Aiden Alvecchione, see what he saw. He was able to actually miss it. Just goes down, touches the grass. Maybe a little contact there with the 33, but nothing that will hurt him. Watch it again down the back straightaway here. Right there, they're going to come together. The 14 up the speedway into the 6. Maybe a little bit of that net code. And there you see all the calamity going on down here. That 6 really going for a ride. Tumbling hard and fast. So, we're giving it another go, though. We're... double them back up here as we get ready to go back racing. It will be Michael Trevarthen, Sean Single, Dalton Williamson, A.J. Hamill, and Dave Bragg. All ready to get going. It'll be 62 laps in the books here when we come back for green flag racing. Green flag back in the air here as Trevarthen and Single will do the old jig down into turns number 1. Single looking to lose a little ground there on the outside lane. He's going to get down in front, and it'll be Trevarthen, Single, and then the battle for that third spot. A.J. Hamill onto the outside. Dalton Williamson working the bottom side of the speedway here. Everybody gets filed in there in the front single file. Josh Buckley still stuck to the outside there. He'll find a home behind Alfred Sharon Jr. One car spinning down to the inside there. That was, I believe, the number 8. That was of Dan Butler. Another car involved, I believe, was Bob Higgins, possibly. Out of turn number 4, we stay green for the time being. Race leader still Michael Trevarthen. Look at everybody stuck behind him. So it's Michael Trevarthen, Sean Single. That's how they're running currently on the Speedway 1 and 2. Dalton Williamson is sitting back there, currently sitting into P number 3. A.J. Hamill still sitting there in 4th. And how about Dave Bragg? He's worked his way into the top 5, but now he's into the outside wall. Bragg will hold it up there on the outside, and now he's going to get into the back of the 78 of Sharon Jr. Those two drivers now battling for that 7th and 8th position on the speedway. Bragg still working the outside. Sharon tries to dive it down on the inside lane. Sharon will actually make the bottom side work. That's where you want to be here tonight. One driver coming back out from pit road. That's car number 30 of Bob Higgins. A couple drivers down on pit road. Brian Bianchi's actually gotten out of his car, along with Eric Stout and Mark Jenkins. They have called it an evening now at this point. '71 completed. All 71 have been led by the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen here tonight. Sean Single is currently sitting in P number 2, trying to work his way into P number 1 if he could here tonight. Dalton Williamson still sitting there, P number 2. Front couple of runners, look who's sitting there into that 6th spot now. That is Justin Rigsby. He has picked up 10 spots. He's sitting there 6th. He's one of those drivers that also came to pit road. They're all single file right now, 1 through 6. They've broken away from Alfred Sharon Jr., who leads the second pack of drivers here. It's Sharon, Bragg, Edwards, Taschereau, Buckley, Alvecchione right there. There's a little bump there from Dave Bragg trying to get around the number 78. It's going to check up the bottom side of the speedway. Billy Edwards out of line down the back straightaway. He'll take a dive down to the inside on the 31. Not going to quite be able to get there. He will not push the envelope. One driver sideways. That's going to be the 33 of Mike Taschereau. 24 laps to go. These drivers are all pushing very hard at the tail end of the top 10. Nobody pushing the envelope with 24 to go at the front of the field here. Mike Taschereau, Sean Single, Dalton Williamson, A.J. Hamill, Rob Higgins, and Justin Rigsby, the rookie, hanging on to the tail of this group. He's the only rookie inside the top 10 right now. Alfred Sharon Jr. actually is classified as a rookie. He has run here with the modifieds before, but has not competed in enough races to be classified as a veteran of the series. Taschereau has not stepped out of line all night long, has not made an error. One driver going around, as I believe that's going to be the number 73 of Philly Edwards has gone around. That'll bring the caution flag out for Philly Edwards. Let's take a look what happened to old Philly. Oh, it was the 31 of Bragg. Philly Edwards was the one just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I believe this is under caution. A couple drivers getting together then. Alfred Sharon Jr., I believe, turning the number 31 of Dave Bragg around. That was after the caution flag had already come out down the back straightaway, because the initial incident was down into 3. There you see Bragg rolled the bottom side a little bit better than Sharon, and then bumper cars happened, and the yellow came out. And there you see heated exchange down the back straightaway. That's going to end the 31's night of Dave Bragg. So, under 20 laps to go here tonight at the Stafford Speedway. It's Michael Trevarthen, it's Sean Single, Dalton Williamson, A.J. Hamill, your top 4, with Rob Higgins rounding out the top 5. Then it'll be Rigsby, Taschereau, Buckley, Alvecchio, Butler, your top 10. Feeney is being scored back into the 11th spot. There you see him. I do believe that's the last car on the lead lap currently. Alfred Sharon Jr., who was involved in that incident there with the 78, he is now coming back out onto the raceway. Dave Bragg's down on pit road. His night is done. He was in that scuffle with Alfred Sharon Jr., so we'll see how this is all going to shake out here. We should go back racing with about 15 laps to go. And we hope that our live stream is back up and functioning. I was informed we did have a little bit of a glitch there for just a couple of moments, and we hope everything is working fine out there on YouTube and Facebook for all the race fans tuning in here to watch the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Modified Series here for Red Light Racing. The caution lights were out momentarily, so we're going to add another caution lap here tonight. This timing and scoring still trying to get checked back upon here tonight. So race control just trying to make sure everybody is where they belong here at the end of this one, because with just these little laps that are left here tonight, you want to make sure you have the right spot and you are going to start where you were supposed to. You don't want to get kind of shuffled out and lose a spot here. Looks like the 78 of Alfred Sharon Jr. is back on pit road. So after the third caution flag, it looks like we get the double thumbs up from race control. We are ready to go back here. Racing. 12 cars out onto the speedway currently. Come back into the restart zone. 14 laps left on the board here tonight. It's the two of Michael Trevarthen and Sean Single. They're dancing down into turn number 1. Single gonna drift high a little bit, see if he can get a good diamond off run down the back straightaway. He's not gonna quite be able to, because there comes the number 1. That is Dalton Williamson. Oh, contact the 11. 11 tried to come down into the 40 there. Sean Single's now going to go 3 wide. There goes Aiden Alvecchione on the outside. Everybody bangs bars. Single goes in the air, and we stay green somehow. 13 laps to go. 13 laps to go. Tashiro into the back of the 271. It's going to put Aiden Alvecchione into the outside wall. Big stack up there, but right now it looks like we stay green. Aiden Alvecchione's the one that's going to lose the most spots. He was running in the 5th spot, now all the way back to 11th after that, and his car looks like it is pretty tore up here. So now a 2-car breakaway, Michael Trevarthen and Dalton Williamson, but what all happened back there? Let's see. Take a quick look here. Here's the 33, Mike Tashiro down into 3, gets into the back of the 271, and then the 8 of Butler right into the back end of the 11 of Sean Single. Watch on board here, Sean Single. So that sent those cars around, but we stayed green, and now it's under 10 laps to go. Race leader still Michael Trevarthen. He's won 2 in a row. Will he be able to win 3 in a row? That's the question that's at hand with just 8 laps to go. Driver that went to pit road was the 271 of Aiden Alvecchione. He's still down on pit road. We'll see if he can make a return back to the raceway. He has had a string of top 10s right now on the line. It looks like that may be slipping away here. Dalton trying to find a way around the team car. Williamson said he was going to park it in victory lane here. He said it last week right as the race finished. He'd circled Stafford. Currently, though, Dalton sitting in second, trailing car number 2, his teammate. Next time by, the old "Hi, how are you?" waving at the flag stand. It'll be just 5 fingers in the air this time by Michael Trevarthen. Dalton Williamson will see that first, so 5 to go here at Stafford. Dalton going to kind of clear back just a little bit. It's a 2-horse race at the front. AJ Hamill and Justin Rigsby are back there, and a little bit separates those 2 cars. 4 laps to go off the corner. Rob Higgins, he was involved in that little bit of a melee scuffle with Sean Single down into the corner there, and somehow he is still sitting into P number 5 here tonight. Rob Higgins has been just hovering around the top 5 all night long. 3 laps to go for the race leaders as they come by the transponder loop at the flag stand. 3 to go. Wide them up. Popsicle sticks being displayed. Just 1 more mile of racing here at Stafford. Michael Trevarthen looks like he is getting the most pressure he has had all night. Oh, Dalton Williams is going to slide the tires off turn number 2. He'll drive it way deep into 3 and 4, though, to try and close the gap. But it'll be 1 lap to go this time by the final lap of the race tonight here, presented by Culpepper's Bakery and Cafe. It's the final time around the Stafford Motor Speedway. As, oh, you can see very gingerly there for the 2, but the 1 steps out. Final time into 3 and 4. Not going to be quite good enough. Dalton skating, but it'll be the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen going back to back to back. Battle back here. Josh Buckley and Brandon Feeney. Feeney will hold off the number 13 of Buckley. And they're finished back there 7th and 8th. Unofficial results on the left-hand side of your screen. There's your race winner, though, on your screen. Been getting pretty good at doing some victory donuts here on Thursday night. Might have to tear that car down and tech it. But Michael Trevarthen will pick up the win. And, of course, our Holy Shirts and Pants post-race show coming with Michael Trevarthen just after this.
iRacing is a sim racing game. that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back here, race fans, to the Stafford Motor Speedway here tonight for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Modified Series presented by Red Light Racing. 100 laps of racing action is done here at Stafford. That means our Holy Shirts and Pants post-race show is about to take place, and we're going to start things off with the driver that picks up the big W here tonight. How about it, Michael Trevarthen? 3 in a row makes this car go.
Give the old hat trick, baby. That's what we do.
How about it, though, tonight? 100 laps. This green machine was out front here, but you were pressured at different stages of this race. You had Dalton Williamson back there, and you had Higgins for a little while back there, I believe. And all night long, there was somebody that was close enough to sniff the tailpipe.
Oh, yeah, they were definitely sniffing back there like a pack of hungry dogs, man. Dalton was doing a really good job holding his line there. I know a couple other guys stuck their nose in there a couple times, but like I said, we felt pretty good up front. Clean air obviously helped us out. Teammate was complaining that behind the cars it was a little snugger, so I think clean air had a lot to do with it.
You were in the clean air out front. It looked like you were running maybe a half a lane higher than what Dalton Williamson was behind you. Was that, maybe to give a little air to him behind you, or was your car just better running that maybe half a car lane up?
It felt good in the lane that I was running. Every once in a while, it'd start to overheat the right front. It'd get snug, and I'd drop it down on the apron to get the car to rotate a little bit, just trying to cool it back down a little bit. But with those guys, closing the gap, it's really hard to cool your equipment down and still, stay consistent and stay fast. But hats off to Dalton for his finish, and definitely hats off to AJ. Hell of a finisher.
You've been having good finishes back-to-back. You will retain the points championship lead leaving Stafford here. But, man, there's a big wild card curveball coming at us next week. A track that we've never been to, not with the SK Modifieds, and definitely not with the Tour Modifieds. We will head to the Milwaukee Mile next week. What's the mindset going from this track here at Stafford to Milwaukee?
Well, knowing that flat tracks is one of my weaker points, I'm not looking forward. So, but it works decent at Milwaukee. It's just, something with me and flat tracks just don't mix.
Well, I'm sure your team can do some practicing over the week. And, well, why don't we let you get to that? Red carpet's rolled out. The microphone is yours. Who makes it possible to park this car in Victory Lane 3 times so far this season?
Definitely Rev Esports. The work me and Dalton put in. Like I said, hats off to that group there. Definitely want to get a big shout out to Checkered Flag Auto Supply. I know we don't always don't remember them in some of my broadcasts. Definitely want to give a big shout out to our title sponsor. Hats off to Rob and Bob for everything they do for the league. You in the broadcast booth, Roger, and Al, when he's with you, you guys do a hell of a job. Enjoy watching it. Josh, Eric, the admins here at Red Light, they do an awesome job. And give a shout out to the family.
There you hear it from your winner tonight. He's the driver of car number 2, Michael Trevarthen, in our Holy Shirts and Pants victory lane for the 3rd time this season, 3 times in a row now. And, well, who's been chasing him all 3 times? How about that number 1 car? How about it, Dalton? A second-place finish here tonight. You've just been trailing that number 2 all season long.
Roger, you know me. That's not good enough for me, man. Mike's just got my number this year so far. I'm catching him, though. I'm trying.
What's been going on back at the shop here? These cars have seemed fast all year. You just haven't quite had the results this season so far.
I think some of it has to do with my track position, and me and Mike, our cars are basically the same every week. I share stuff with him, he shares stuff with me, so it really just comes down to who's got the better tires there at the end. Like Mike said, I think tonight the clean air played a big factor being out front. It always does here, because when you're behind somebody, it just continues to plow and get tighter.
Well, that car looked pretty tight, wrapping the bottom side of the speedway. Did you have anything left in the tank there at the end? You started the charge. What did you need more to get around him?
I was going to try to bump him, but I didn't want to wreck him. I don't race like that, especially with him being my teammate, I just want to do it clean. If it was there, I was going to take it, but I definitely don't want to wreck him. I respect Mike and AJ and, all the guys in here, so I try not to wreck people on purpose.
Well, you don't wreck them on purpose, and you kept that 1 car clean here tonight, so I guess we'll be able to unload that next week. And Mike's over there are already pulling on you. He wants to go do some testing, so I guess we'll let you go here. But who makes this possible back home in Tampa?
First and foremost, like Mike said, we normally don't mention them. I always forget. Like to thank Checkered Flag Auto Supply, you for broadcasting, Josh, Eric, and all the admin in here, and Rob. Rob owes me some window cleaner, by the way. We'll get with him after that. McConey Setup Shop, Nitro Racing, Platinum RV Services, Red Bee Sports, and that's about it.
That's about it, he says. He comes home P number 2, just 1 spot shy of being in that Holy Shirts and Pants victory lane. That'll be Dalton Williamson, our 2nd place finisher here tonight. And how about the man who comes home 3rd? Maybe he broke the camel's back here, and finally, how about it, AJ? Finally, you come home with a decent finish here tonight, a 3rd place spot.
3rd. We're talking 3rd. We're not talking 3 laps. Just making sure.
You made it more than 3 laps here tonight. That is, yes.
Right.
I'm looking at the score, and yes, 100 laps completed.
100
car
laps.
18.
Wow, that might be more than I had all season. Can't really complain about that.
How did the car handle out there tonight? You had to come through the field a couple times. You started up in the 4th spot, but you dropped outside that top 5 there for a little bit.
Yeah, there's a little Nerf bar going on. That's all right. I didn't give any room, so I guess I deserve it a little bit. And just trying to save the tires. And it looked like Sean was not saving the tires, but it didn't really hurt him. I was just trying to back it up and not get into anybody, and it seemed to pay off. I tried a little different setup. I've had a hard time on these long runs and these cars burning off the right front or the right rear, whichever is happening that week. So I made some changes, and I think that helped. I wasn't going to do anything with these 2, but at least kept me from fading. And I got to apologize to Brian. Unofficial teammates, when neither one of us has our teammates showing up on Thursdays, and he got sideways and I got sideways, and I turned him around, and feel real bad about that. It's certainly not what we were aiming to do. And then I got to tell you, I was afraid I turned Sean, but I looked at the replay, and it was definitely not me.
So it was definitely. So I think there was a song back in the 90s. You're definitely from that era. Wasn't me. I mean, I'll let you go back and listen to that song and maybe get the joke there. It seems like you already have. But
I'm with you. Yeah.
But I mean, this run here tonight, you're finally back inside the top 5 on the podium here, and man, we're already a couple races in. We're getting down to the meat of the schedule. Milwaukee and Bristol, the next 2 races, completely different than what we had here tonight.
Yeah, I think my season is now week to week. Let's try to get some top 5s and some good feelings going into next season. Because I think this was my first finish of the season so far. 1 week was my fault. Some other weeks were not. Well, I lost my train of thought. Mr. Confused. I had so much to say.
So much to say.
I got it.
Oh, he's got it.
I got it. So I probably should have put more time in with my new setup, but 15 minutes was good enough. Like Geico was good enough. I should get them as my sponsor. Save me on my tire wear. I didn't put in the laps the other guys put in. I don't have anybody to play with, and it's not a lot of fun. You spend a half hour practicing to get wiped out lap 2. That's not fun either. So we switched to show and go, which costs you some chances at wins, but that's not meant to take away from Mike and Dalton. They certainly had it on me. There's nothing I was going to do with them unless they took each other out.
Well, look close in the last lap. Like they may have been able to do that, but they kept it off each other.
You never know.
You definitely never know how races are going to end up. That's why we come out and we run 100 laps. And at the end of those 100 laps, third place here tonight. AJ, congratulations on finally being able to finish a race here. Before we let you go, it's the first time this season that we're going to hand you the microphone. Who do you got?
I mean, I'll give it back. First, I got to just point out that I don't have a setup shop sponsor, and the reason for that is this is fixed racing and there's no setups. So, yeah, I'm not going to thank any of them. That's a bad dry joke right there. But let's transition. It is my parents' 49th anniversary, so happy anniversary, Mom and Dad. Hopefully you're still watching. Yeah, 49 years. That's a heck of a long time. And I guess I'll transition into Art's Barbershop on the car. That would be my dad. And Orca Coolers, EmptyTheTanks.org, Center for Whale I haven't named this stuff in so long. Center for Whale Research, whaleresearch.org. And hey, you know who we don't thank enough? Checkered Flag Auto Supply. So we should thank them for sponsoring and getting us on here and getting you paid so we can run our mouths at the end of these races and show our families what we're doing.
There you have it.
You can have it back now.
He's
Everyone's
confused. I don't know what he's rambling on about this at this point, but AJ Hamill race fans will come home here tonight. P number 3. And how about it for the Hamill family? 49 years. That's older than me. I can definitely tell you that. But hey, congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Hamill, on your anniversary here tonight. AJ does you proud by finishing P number 3. There's your top 3 finishing drivers here tonight in our Holy Shirts and Pants post-race show for Michael Trevarthen, Dalton Williamson, and AJ Hamill. Justin Rigsby, your first rookie across the line. He will finish in P number 4, and Rob Higgins rounds down the top 5. The rest of the field unofficial results here tonight are Butler, Feeney, Buckley, Taschereau, Single, your top 10. Everything, of course, is unofficial at this point, I've been told. So we'll see how that all shakes out through the weeks played out here. But we will head to the Milwaukee Mile 1 week from now on May the 12th here with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Modified Series for Red Light Racing. You can catch all that racing action right here next week on the Turn 3 Racing Network when I, myself, will be back behind this wonderful microphone. Till we see you next time, race fans, though, we hope you enjoyed tonight's show here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. And until we see you next time, everybody stay safe, and we'll see you in Turn 3.